Hey friends, it's Dr. Erica Jones. We are here on the Art of Transition podcast. We got a special guest with us. You know how we do. We let our guests introduce themselves. So this one is real special. It's a friend from my hometown of Dothan, Alabama. And I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ashley Davis. I am a real estate investor, developer, and agent in the Atlanta metro area and also Southeast Alabama. I specialize in teaching others how to build their business credit and start real estate investing. As well as help others, buy and sell homes and things of that nature. So I'm very excited to be here with you guys today.
Well, we are excited to have you. I mean, you said a mouthful, Miss Davis. Like, you're not just a real estate agent, you're also an investor. Is that correct?
That is correct.
So talk a little bit about, the podcast is about transitioning, from one career to the next, from one idea to the next. Talk a little bit about how you were able to transition into real estate and why you chose real estate.
Okay. So let me go back. So I was always interested in real estate, and I guess it started from childhood because my mom, she has rental houses. So my mom was always a go-getter on the side too. I mean, she worked a corporate job, a government job, but she had, rental homes, laundromats, all type of stuff. So she was always dragging us around, helping her, clean up or, things like that at these properties. So it's kind of always been ingrained in me. It was something I wanted to do. But, I did the typical thing. I went to college, got my degree. I started working for a company called Accenture right out of college. And I really didn't get into real estate being an agent probably until like 2006. So, which was a year after college. So I was like, okay, I have this corporate job, that's great. Let me do this for a while. I never expected to stay in corporate America as long as I did, because I've always kind of been a serial entrepreneur. Like I used to want to have a nightclub, which I had for a little while, or have an online store, which I had a little while. So just doing some of everything, which is one of the things I suggest people not to do. I always tell people now, just choose something, get that going, then move to the next. But back to this. So I've always been doing real estate as an agent on the side, but I never really put that much effort into it because I was working a corporate job and I was making a lot of money in that job.
And that's a big
it wasn't
corporation.
Really stressful. Yeah, it is. And I worked there for 15 years.
Wow.
So doing real estate a little bit on the side, not even heavy.
Okay.
But thank God something in me said over the last, I will say 3 years, I really got myself to a position to where I could really start doing the investment side. So I started.
Okay.
And I said, I'm going to focus on this. In the next couple of years, I'm going to leave Accenture. But Accenture left me. So, with that being, so I got laid off. Again, I've been there 15 years. Only, job I've known or career I've known really. And I got laid off last February. So February 5th. So that's my 1 year anniversary is coming up from being totally free of working for other people. But but we found out about it maybe like 6 months before I got laid off. And the best thing about it is that I wasn't even nervous.
And you had time.
I had time. I had it was about 5 months notice.
Okay, now that is amazing. That's way better than it was some company where the CEO actually let the people know over Zoom,
right,
that they wouldn't be needed. So okay, so
let me tell you why they had to do us like that, honey, because we had to transition. So they were they offshored, which is what we do too. That's what Accenture does. They come into companies and they offshore stuff for them. So of course, Accenture's going to look at what can they offshore. So they offshored our positions or my whole division to Buenos Aires, Argentina. So the reason they gave us that headway, I think it's, of course, because we had to transition a person that was taking over for us
Got it.
in order to get our severance. So it was kind of like, all right, I'm teaching this person to take my job, but it is what it is. But again, I wasn't nervous at that point. I had flipped three houses, two or three houses at that point. And it was like, you know what? I'll just do this full time. And this past year I will say I've tripled my income just this past
Wow.
year. So
What
I
an
don't see
amazing
myself
story.
going back. Yeah.
What an amazing story. And just the fact that you had your mom as an example of, what to do and what maybe works the best. And you
Yeah.
got to participate in that as you were transitioning into adulthood. It's quite an amazing story.
It is, and I love her for that. But I will say, me and my mom are two different types. Two different types. We're the same, but we're two different types of investors. Like, she thinks I'm doing too much. Like, me flipping two houses at a time or building one, and that scares her. But
Ah,
she already knows I'm like all gas, no brakes. Like, this is what I'm doing full time. This is what I do now.
got it.
So I can't. It's not like I have another 6-figure job where I'm getting paid every 2 weeks. I got all these benefits, and I can flip a house here and there. Like, no, like, I've gotten to the point where right now I have a flip going on and two new builds going on at the
Mm,
same time.
wow. And the
So
real estate market in Atlanta is bananas right now. So I can not even imagine the amount of stress that you have to deal with and working with contractors and things like that. What would you say for someone who is, just starting out in real estate and just starting out trying to think about maybe flipping houses and investing? Are there any resources that you feel were instrumental in helping you outside of the experience that you got with your mom?
honestly, for me, I kind of just got it out of the mud. Like, I really, even with my mom, she doesn't flip. She does rentals and long term rentals and things like that. So it's
Ah,
kind of just something like, for me, I just had to, give it a shot. And like I said, the most important thing for me is getting myself where I needed to be financially. And it just so happened at the right time because I teach people, or a lot of people feel like you can get started in real estate investing without having any money, and that's somewhat true. It doesn't have to be your money. That's why I am always preaching. It doesn't have to be your money, but guarantee you need money. I mean, this stuff
yes.
costs a lot of money to do. So I think getting yourself in a position to either have established enough savings for or enough business credit, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what I did. And that's how I teach people now. Like, a lot of people reach out to me saying they want to get into real estate, and I ask them the same question. Okay, well, what's your credit looking like? How much available credit do you have? How much available cash do you have? And then a lot of them will say hardly nothing. I say, well, let's not start with real estate. Let's start with building your business credit, because I'm going to need you to have so much of available funds
Yes.
before we can get started. So I always push them back into my business credit mentorship. And then I say, hey, when I feel like you have enough money, and not doesn't have to be cash, like I said, available funds out here, whether it's business credit, a line of credit, a credit card, then I'll move you over into the real estate mentorship program. Because first we have to get you have to have funds. And
Got
I got
it.
to get you there and help you get you there. Yeah.
Got it. So for someone who's interested in joining your mentorship, what does that look like? What does the process look like? How do they reach out to you?
Well, they can follow me on IG. That's my main, source of promotion and getting what I do out there. And they can also follow along. I give a lot of good tips on real estate and building business credit on my page, just offering good content. And that's Ashley Davis Real Estate, and it's Ashley spelled regularly ASHLEY. Davis Real Estate. So they can follow me there. And then I have on my page, if you go into my link on my bio, there is an option to schedule a free 30-minute consultation with me. So I call it like a free business strategy session,
Right.
where, I get on the phone with people, kind of understand what they're trying to do in business. And again, it doesn't just have to be real estate. because I help people with business credit who want to do other things, who want to get into trucking, who have a boutique, or, they're anything. And I help them, try to learn how to build their business credit to either start a new business or scale a new business. And if they want to get into real estate, get into real estate investing, because real estate investing isn't for everyone. But I highly recommend that most people get some type of side hustle or business going, because as we can see, or as a lot of people have saw, a lot of people got laid off during coronavirus.
Mm-hmm.
They were struggling. I mean, and I got a pretty good severance, because I had been there 15 years, but it didn't last a year, so I probably like 4 or 5 months. And then do you know how much they give you for unemployment? I mean, and this is after they were giving. I didn't catch that wave where they were giving the $800 a week.
Oh man!
I caught the regular wave where you can get like $250, and I'm like, $250. How are people living?
Yeah, it's rough.
This? And I took it, because at the end of the day, I paid in 15 years worth of that stuff. So, but again, I mean, even if $1,000 a month couldn't even pay my mortgage, but I was blessed to be in that position to where it didn't scare me. So I always say, get something else going that you like, because you never know, what may happen. Get you some vending machines, something.
Right.
And nowadays too, the big wave with investing in the stock market. I love that Black people have gotten into that so much over the last couple of years.
Yeah,
I can tell people, you don't have money to invest, I can help you build your business credit. Let's say I can help you get like $10,000 a limit. I can show you how to pull that 10 grand off. You can go invest that 10 grand into the market. So you have no excuse.
Wow.
Now, if you lose
that's some powerful information.
Yeah.
That is some powerful information.
It's just so much. There's so many ways to make money nowadays without working for someone else.
Yeah. And this is no shade to, people with a 9-to-5. I actually I actually have a job now. I wrote a book in 2018 called Fuck This Job, The Art of Transition. And, some people look at it because the merch actually went way further than the book, and people look at it, they're like, oh, what are you saying? I'm like, I'm not saying don't work. I'm not saying fuck working. I'm just saying that we are in America where there are plenty of companies that are hiring and the job market is hot. And a lot of times you're going to get the biggest pay raise when you switch jobs.
True. Oh, I like I said, I worked in corporate America for 15 years. And if they wouldn't have let me go, I would have continued that at least for a couple more years until I really got where I wanted to be. But the difference is nowadays, it's not about not working. Like you said, working a job or working for someone else, but you have the ability to at least work where you want and where you like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And getting the funds you want. I'm talking about the people who go to work and hate it.
Right, exactly.
You need to find it's other ways to make money where you don't have to be miserable every day.
Right.
Now,
you don't have to sacrifice your mental health.
Right. If you got a 9-to-5, you love it. You're making good money. Of course, keep it. Because like I said, entrepreneurship isn't for everybody.
Yeah.
But don't stay in a miserable job just because you feel like you have no other options.
Yeah, for sure. Ashley, I really like the fact that you pointed out that there are different types of investors and that entrepreneurship isn't for everybody. Like, how did you discover what type of person you are, like your risk tolerance and what you would be able to maybe start off investing? How did you learn that?
For me, I think it was, like I said, just probably growing up with seeing my mom have this other stuff. I always knew I wanted to be my own business owner. And that just goes to, like I said, all the things I've tried. I wanted to have this nightclub and have a boutique and this and that. So it's, like I said, staying in my job in corporate America 15 years was shocking to me. Because again, when I got that job out of college, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna work this job a couple of years, boom, boom, boom. You know, so I think for me it was just more natural. And
Got
as
it.
far as you're saying, what risk level, like I said, I just got to the point where, listen, I have to try it. I done
Mm-hmm.
had plenty businesses fail,
Mm-hmm.
and I've recovered from every single one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And they were just learning experiences. I know what to do a little bit better at the next one.
Right. Right.
So I think it just comes into just trying to, and nowadays there's just so many resources too, where you don't have to go at it alone. It's like, I know a lot of people are making money nowadays selling courses, and some courses are better than others. But at the end of the day, if you want to open a boutique and there is a successful boutique owner that's willing to show you how, or mentor you, or has a course for you to take, it's easier now, because now you can invest in that education
Mm-hmm.
and get you some tips and some pointers. You don't have to go at it alone.
Right.
So
And I
that's
love
why I
that.
said now more than ever, it's the cost of entry into entrepreneurship is a lot lower and easier.
Got it.
It's a lot of stuff you don't have to figure out on your own. Like, for example, if someone wants to flip a house, they can hire me as a mentor,
Or
and I will
consultant.
be there to help your consultant. Yeah. And it takes away some of that fear that you have, because some of it's just fear.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, you work with a mentor one or two times, and now you've learned it, and you can go off, and do your own thing.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
And that's
So
essentially like the breakthrough of information sharing that's happening right now in our day and age. I am here for it. Like, if you take the
mhm.
time and focus on something that you want to learn, I feel like everything is just sped up. Like, we're hitting fast forward on everything these days.
Yep.
And I just I
Like
appreciate
it.
the
Case in
fact that.
point, investing. I invested in. I have a real, not in real estate investing. I have a stock market investing mentor that I
Mm,
paid good money to learn from and understand the market. And when it was time for me to spend that money, I didn't even bat an eye,
got it.
because I'm like, I'm going to make this money back tenfold. This guy's going to teach me how to make this money in this market. If I put in the work too. That's another thing people need to remember. You still got to put in your own work.
You did your homework as
And
well.
yeah, yep.
I love it. I love it. The fact
Me
that you
too,
even
girl.
went out and searched for, this is what I want to learn. So I'm going to get me a mentor in this specific arena, not just
Mhm.
overall mentor. I
Right.
really want to applaud you for that. Like, you searched for a specific mentor,
Mhm.
and there's
Yep.
power in being specific and intentional about your goals, and you were there, and I just applaud you, Ashley. I watching what you're doing on Instagram. I'm watching what you're doing with these homes, and I'm inspired. Like, I love to
Thank
see it.
you.
Like, a young Black woman from my hometown, where a lot of us don't make it out of Dothan, Alabama. And
True.
I applaud you. I'm clapping for you virtually. Every time I see you doing something new, I'm like, yeah, that's Ashley
Thank
from
you.
Dothan. Yeah.
Yes, girl. I love it.
So I just want to thank you for sharing your time and sharing your story. Any last words, anything else you want to share with the listeners? How to find you outside of, we said your Instagram is Ashley Davis Real Estate, ASHLEY Real Estate on Instagram.
Yep.
In terms of your mentorship program, just reach out to you there. Any last words you want to share with the listeners?
Yeah, I just want to say that you guys, you really, I know this is cliche, but you really can do whatever you put your mind to. I challenge everybody to find something that you like. If you're not doing something that you like, and just start working on it, and be patient too. A lot of
Mm,
people see people blow up, they think it's overnight. Those people really have put in work. So just pick something, go for it, be consistent, be patient, and because we only have one life to live, and everybody needs to try to be as happy as they can possibly be.
Yeah, and kill that fear of failure. Like you said,
Yep,
you failed and learned, got up and learned from it, and continue to move forward.
exactly.
So we all gonna keep moving forward in our lives. Thank the listeners. Thank you for your time, Ashley. Thank you for your
Thank you
time.
for having me.
It's been a pleasure. It's
All
been a
right.
pleasure.